Welcome everyone to 7 Minutes or Less, talking about the shows you love or want to get into. Today we will be talking about 24, Live Another Day. 4 years after the events of Season 8, also 4 years since the last season, Jack has disappeared. Now, seemingly out of nowhere, he's resurfaced in London. With intentions unknown, Jack is captured and brought into the CIA, where a forced to retire Kate Morgan deduces that Jack wouldn't be so reckless. The reality is, Jack has to race against the clock to convince everyone there's an imminent threat which involves drones controlled by the terrorist Margot Al-Harazi. The people he needs to convince are very personal to Jack, as Chloe O'Brien reprises herself, along with a newly appointed President James Heller and an Audrey Raines. After taking Season 8 as it is, the surprise Season 9 Live Another Day gave us more to chew on. While some plot points feel convenient to get our characters back together for one last hurrah, this is probably the most entertaining series finale. The character reprisals are well deserved as we see Secretary of Defense James Heller, now President, and Audrey Raines, now out of her psychosis and married to the President's Chief of Staff. Chloe O'Brien, Jack's longtime friend and colleague, returns sporting a goth look that can be pretty jarring upon first glance, but gives way to reasons later on down the road. Which, by the way, this road that we're talking about isn't 24 episodes long. Day 9 features only 12, which in turn puts pressure in the overall feel for this season and ramps up the tension even more to those who are aware of the structure. Live Another Day won't be the last to use this, as Legacy, the spin-off of this show, will be the last to do so. As I commented on season finales before, the series finale of this show feels a lot more legit than the season before it. With a respectable amount of closure, this does indeed have a desire to see more. But for now, I am happy with what we've got. I found the plot of this season to be really good. Live Another Day really does seem to be learning from its weaknesses. Characters come back and it doesn't feel fan servicey. There's a potent meaning and sense of finality to what these characters are going through, which pay off very, very somberly. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because while season 8 kind of started diving into the somber feel, it almost felt mean-spirited in a way. But here, there's a sense of maturity that is grown from where the characters have been to where they are now. Time gaps are addressed, and then when it's all said and done, it feels 100% earned. Knowing that this season is only 12 episodes, this sort of ramps up the intensity. Margot Al-Harazi serves as a mirror to all of our characters involved. While not personal to Jack, we're told that it's personal between Margot and the president, and especially what the president's done against her. Her conviction is more than enough for you to understand her plight, and I think you can understand why she does what she does. She has to force people to do things against their nature, which makes her very cold, very calculating. Jack has his own ambitions and doesn't quite care about what people think or feel about him, despite the closeness he has with the president and Audrey. It takes a healthy amount of time in the 12 episodes for everyone to converge and work together, which adds weight to the overall story when Jack and Audrey finally meet for the first time, along with President Heller as well. Speaking on these reunions, I really do have to talk about them because they are pretty poignant. For 3 minutes, when Jack and Audrey see each other for the first time, they struggle as to what to say towards one another. It's so brief, but it says so much. And then the subsequent conversations afterwards, while they don't share a room again with one another, I think that it has a lot to say with its own weight, and like it never betrays the anticipation of addressing the past and forgiving one another. But the one thing I love is how long it takes before everyone's story starts intersecting. You're definitely on board. Day 9 for me is by far the most resonant. All that's happened in this finale hit me so hard that I could not have predicted my reaction upon rewatch. The music reached into my bones and settled there deep within the marrow. Sean Callery, the composer, is a masterclass of tension and emotion. He understood the assignment for this finale. And to give you context, and one of the things that I have not spoken of is President James Heller. One of the biggest things that's happening to him right now is he has Alzheimer's. And while that has been strategically used throughout the entire season of Live Another Day, it finally hits home when it's all ending. And the way he reflects by the end, that he won't even remember the day. And so we're going to get into Jack and what he did at the end of all of this. I think it's safe to say that he doesn't die, doesn't go in a blaze of glory. He actually gives himself up quietly. Back in season 1, Jack has a speech about compromising and how it's not the way to go. And then for 8 seasons, we watch as Jack Bauer proceeds to enact that same philosophy, never compromising. Live Another Day, though, for the first and only time, he compromises for Chloe. His last real connection, the only friend he has left. It mirrors President Heller's speech about losing himself to Alzheimer's. Both men who spent their entire lives fighting to stay in control finally accept they cannot win forever. Makes this the most mature and profoundly human ending 24 has ever given us. In the end, guys and gals, this is a series for the ages. It doesn't nearly get enough love as it deserves. Many more shows have come along, essentially becoming bigger and better, outshining what 24 has laid the foundation for. This was a welcomed and needed season that reached far beyond what season 8 was supposed to do. With all that said, thank you all so much for watching. We have one more 24 review coming your way. If you like this review and want more, subscribe. It definitely helps out a lot. Works wonders here. With all that said, I hope you all take it easy. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, until next time.